beginning now. Trying to make sense of this. I'm standing on the edge of your love, paralyzed by words of silence. Fear is crashing over me. Fear is crashing. Fear is crashing over me. Crashing over me. Desperate for to feel your touch. I know my feelings are too much. With each attempt I'm pushing you away. You could just try to see me, get past my desperate crazy. Help me to the surface. Help me to the surface. Oh yeah. Help me to the surface. I've got to breathe. Oh, I got to breathe. Yeah. Oh, I got to breathe. Oh, I've got to breathe. Coming to the surface. Coming to the surface. Coming to the surface. I've got to breathe. Yeah, yeah. Here I am. Here I am. I'm over you. So damn over you. I'm over you. I'm over you. Help me to the surface. Help me to the surface. I've got to breathe. Desperate for to feel your touch. I know my feelings are too much. With each attempt I'm pushing you away. You could just try to see me, get past my desperate crazy. Help me to the surface. Help me to the surface. Help me to the surface. I've got to breathe. Yeah. Here I am. Next song I'm going to play is a song I'm going to be entering into the 2011 West Coast Songwriters Association's songwriting contest. And this is called Being Beautiful. It's the way you twist your head with a smile on your face. Heaven knows I prayed for words to say. As the moon dances in your eyes, holding you I've realized, baby, you amaze me. Just being beautiful, beautiful, lying there. Being beautiful, so beautiful, I'm running my fingers through your hair. Being beautiful, so beautiful, baby, it's just what you do. Sometimes I stop and stare, and you're not aware. You're being beautiful. It's being beautiful. Broken dreams, you've had it rough. You're always thinking that you're not enough. Baby, you light the fire in my soul. The fear is gone from your eyes. Loving you I've realized, baby, you're amazing. Beautiful, beautiful, lying there. Being beautiful, so beautiful, I'm running my fingers through your hair. Being beautiful, so beautiful, just what you do. Sometimes I stop and stare, you're not aware. Laughing, crying, you never stop trying. Bring the best out of me. Tenderness, morning kiss, can't get enough of this. You're beautiful, so beautiful, you're all I need. You're all I need. Just being beautiful, so beautiful, just what you do. Sometimes I stop and stare when you're not aware. You're being beautiful, so beautiful.
Welcome everybody to the brand new Metaverse TV show called Amped Up, which is a music show that we will be hosting here every other Sunday with some wonderful guests. And it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you this evening to Mr. Christopher Joel Thompson, best known in Second Life, obviously, as Christopher Kwan. And he's introduced the show with two wonderful songs, which I do believe, Chris, are they brand new?
Not too new. They've been a couple songs I've been working on. The second one has been a song that I've had for a few years, actually, kind of reshaping and rewriting, and I think I'm pretty close to it being. That's it. That's done with that one. The first one, that's newer. That's probably less than a year old.
Was this the track that you entered for the West Coast Songwriters Association competition?
Yeah, well, I've been a part of the West Coast Songwriters now for 2 years. Last year, I entered a song I wrote called Mirror Mirror, and it ended up winning Best Song of the Year. And I beat out songwriters from Hollywood and San Francisco, Portland, Sacramento. So that was a big thrill. It was my first year in the competition. So, I mean, it just, I still don't even know how I won that, to be honest with you. It was It was amazing. So the second song that I played today is the new song that I'll be entering in 2011's contest. Yeah.
How do you find as a musician entering? Is this obviously, is this something that you entered on as an online competition, or was this through another website where you actually got to perform live rather than send in a track?
No, it's actually West Coast Songwriters Association is the longest existing kind of songwriter association, and it's been in California for over 30 years, and it's throughout the whole West Coast, based out of California, and it has chapters in all the different cities along the West Coast. And you become a member, and then every month they have competitions, and then at the end of the year they bring the 12 winners from each month, and then they have a playoff, and then if you win there, then you go to the regional playoffs where they bring people from Hollywood, Portland, and then they have a playoff with 12 people there, and then if you win that competition, which was an amazing blessing and honor for me to win. Then you go to a conference where record executives and producers come for a 2-day conference, and you get to play and showcase your music for them. So that's kind of how it is, and it's a great opportunity. You meet lots of amazing songwriters that have written for Whitney Houston, One Republic. Tim McGraw, all sorts of great songwriters. So it's an awesome opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I always find, obviously being a musician myself, and I do enter competitions too. The whole process of entering a track, it actually takes quite a lot of courage, because you do tend to sit and think, which song should I enter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's the process of entering it and then having to wait. Was it done by a public vote, or did you actually have to ask your fan base to come and support you as well?
No, it's they have industry songwriters that are proven and have written some songs. For example, a gal by the name of Bonnie Hayes, who wrote a song for Bonnie Wright, and she was one of our judges. So when you go to the competition, you play one song, and with 12 other performers, and then they judge you right there, and you either get the best song or you get best performance. And if you're given best performance, then you're given 3 hours of free time at a local recording studio. The winner is then, if you win best song, then you're eligible to play for the playoffs to go on farther. Plus, you get the recording time too. So, yeah, they judge you right there. So you do your song, and then you wait for everybody else to do their thing. You sit there, and then they let you know how you did.
It's fascinating to me as a musician, but just these whole processes of being able to enter, especially as an independent artist, being able, having the opportunity to enter into these competitions.
And can I just interrupt you real quick, because you are an amazing artist in your own right, and I just want to let you know that I've really enjoyed your stuff, and I think you're an amazing artist. So, just throwing that out there.
Well, thank you very much. This isn't about me, Chris. This is about you, because you are an extremely talented musician, and
well, thank you.
It's been a pleasure coming to listen to your shows in Second Life, because one of the things that I find is that using a virtual platform for music, it does bring the music to you from places where you wouldn't necessarily be able to go to in real life. So
oh yeah, totally. Mm-hmm.
It provides a great opportunity for me to hear musicians from other countries that I wouldn't have done before, and obviously for the fans and supporters of live music in Second Life. how do you feel about musical performances online in general?
In Second Life?
Well, there isn't just Second Life. Obviously, now we have Ustream and Livestream. There are more and more. There's an application on Facebook where you can jam. There's Stage TV. You know, there seem to be a lot more opportunities for musicians.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing because, you know, there is no more record companies, really. I mean, it's all, there is, but it's another venue, and you have to take advantage of that. You have to take the advantage of using online opportunities via YouTube, Ustream, like you mentioned, Second Life, and you're right. There's others that I haven't even ventured into, but yeah, I mean, you have to. That's going to be a vehicle for you to get your music in with people from, like you said, around the world. You know, and that's what I love about Second Life. You know, I've done concerts and there's people from all over the world. Australia, Russia, Moscow is somebody who comes to some of my shows, and she's from Russia, and I mean, not to mention, you know, you guys in the UK, and then there's, you know, the folks around the United States. I mean, if I was going down to the local cafe store, you know, or the cafe down here, and I'd be hauling, in fact, I just did that on Friday night. I had an open mic, and I love that. I love playing in front of, you know, people in a live audience. And the cool thing about Second Life, you know, you still get that feedback from the audience, even virtually. But, you know, I have to haul all my equipment down to the cafe, set up, and I may play for an hour or two, and, you know, and it's fine. But, you know, in this, I'm only going to get 12, 15 people from the local area, where if I do it in Second Life, it's from all over the world. It's amazing.
And in real life, they never seem to wear their name tags above their head, so actually, you don't know who they are.
Although I think it would be a great idea to come up with a hat that did that.
Yes. I think they should, actually. I think they should make it compulsory for anybody doing a live gig that all the audience have got to wear a hat with their name above it. Because that is one thing about performance online, whether you're in Second Life or whether you are using a live video camera for performances, is that you do get the chat, and it makes the experience, I think, a little more personal, because you are able to address people by their names, or by their given names when they're in chat.
Right.
Do you feel that compare, you know, it's on a par with performing live for that very reason, that it's a slightly more intimate type of performance when you perform
definitely
online?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think when I do a performance, I honestly try to visualize like I'm in some pub, you know, and it is very intimate, and people are around the piano, and it's close. I'm not into, you know, woo, you know, I mean, I have a good time. I love to do that, but I really try to think it's more intimate than that. You know, I mean, you know, besides the fact that I can sit here in my underwear eating a bucket of chicken while I play, but other than that, you know, it's pretty.
That's always a benefit, isn't it, of being able to sit there in your pajamas and do a performance and nobody knows. Right. Well, if you're in Second Life, if you're using a virtual world, it's slightly different, I think, if you're on live stream or Ustream, because people can see then. Right.
Yeah, well, and that's funny too, because before I play in my closet. I mean, that's where my little studio is. And I shut the doors, and I kind of get lost in my little closet here. And I've been doing a lot of live performances on the Stage TV. So if you go to the Stage TV, I think it's the stage.tv.
.tv, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, you can see me playing in my closet at that point.
So I'd like to know, Chris, when did you decide to come out of the closet?
Well, it was my therapist, actually, who said that I needed to come out, and but it was actually Second Life who that gave me a lot of confidence to come out of my closet. To be honest with you, that's funny that we laugh about it, but the truth is I didn't play live, and I only played in my closet. You know, I've always kind of written music and did stuff on my own, you know, in my closet, but not for anybody to hear. And it wasn't until I got into Second Life, and you know, Shara was showing me this live music scene, and it was just like, wow. And she's like, you know, you should try doing this. And so I started doing that, and then it was like people giving you feedback, and you're like, wow, you know, my confidence started kind of coming up, kind of building up, and then that just really translated out into playing live. You know, I was playing on Friday night live, and I visualized, I used that. I'm like, okay, you know, Chris, just relax, you know, because I get really nervous, and I'm like, okay, just think about like it is in Second Life, you know, and I was able to just kind of let go and escape, and you know, really pull off a nice performance for them, and it was great.
I do love to hear that from musicians who, you know, using Second Life has been an introduction into giving them some self-confidence
totally.
about their performance and for their music. I am very ashamed to admit that I haven't got as far as doing a live performance yet, and I've been doing this for a long time. But it does require a great deal of courage, because you must have faith in your abilities as a musician and to be able to entertain an audience. And do you feel that audiences today are more demanding, perhaps because do you think they're more demanding in real life, you know, in terms of quality of performance, or when they're online?
Oh, that's a tough one. I definitely think that in real life there is a little more, it seems to, over in the West Coast anyway, Americana music, singer-songwriter stuff tends to be pretty popular, which allows kind of that intimate setting. I think I'm always stretched in Second Life to bring more of a variety of music. You know, like I'll go to other shows like, you know, some of the great artists here, Craig Lyons or Damien Carbonell, or he's an amazing artist. Sky Galaxy, you know, have a really diverse type of stuff and lots of faster songs, and you know, because people, I think, really enjoy the camaraderie with each other on the sim and having fun. And I think in real life, you know, it's like everybody's just silent and they're just, you know, I think in real life, I think you have to earn your audience, you know.
Yes.
It's like I'll play in clubs or bars or something like that, and everybody's kind of talking, there's this noise. And then it's like, for me, it's this challenge. It's like, okay, my challenge is to make the whole room go completely quiet. And so that's what I try to do, you know. And so you got to kind of earn your audience like that, I think. So it's different, I think, in Second Life.
I've always felt it's quite difficult in real life. I've been to see lots of bands and lots of musicians, and the assumption for a lot of the venues in real life is that the musician or the band is there for the background ambience. They're not there as a focal point. And I think certainly with Second Life that is suddenly turned around. So it is actually the musician or the band that becomes the focal point.
Good point.
It's a very good different. Sorry, I'll say that again. In fact, I won't say that word because I can't say it. But it provides a totally different look at how people view music, and we know that people like to have music as a background because they like to socialize. But I don't think there's anything worse than going to a pub or to a venue and you simply can't hear the musician because everybody's there to drink and to talk and to answer their mobile phone. And
that's hard for me.
Yeah,
it's hard for me. I think even in Second Life, it's funny because even in Second Life, for me, I have to sing about truth. It's like when I choose songs that I sing or songs that I write, there's got to be truth in it. So for me, in order for me to put my heart behind, you know, every song or performance, there's got to be truth there for me. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's for you to, you know, put your heart out there, and then just to kind of be, like you said, some ambient noise in the background. That's demoralizing, yes. You know.
It could reflect in one's lyrics, actually, couldn't it? If you're singing about the truth when you're in a pub, it's actually you'd like to be singing, why don't you all shut up and listen to my music, stop drinking and pay attention to me?
And yet, though, that you hit it right on the head with the lyrics. And that's where I think you earn your audience in your lyrical crafting. If you craft your lyrics in a way that allows your audience, wherever you are, to share that experience in a way that it was for you, then you're doing the right thing. That's how you capture your audience. That's how you earn your audience through your lyrics. You know, being able to emote in the whole song, overall tone of the song. You have to emote whatever you're trying to feel. Emote that, and you want them to feel that, and you bring them along with the lyrics. I mean, they have to see that story in their mind.
Yes. Yes, it is telling the story. You do realise, Chris, that I am actually taking notes here, is to not write any of my own songs with the lyrics. Ooh, ooh, la, 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 la. Ooh, yeah, baby, baby. Because, yeah.
I know, I use baby too much, too, in my lyrics. I can stop that.
How do you find lyric writing, actually? I must admit, it is not one of my favourite things. But I know that as musicians, we gather inspiration from wherever we can, or from different points in our life. But when you're actually writing your lyrics, have you ever gone back and looked at them and known exactly how you were at that sort of time in your life, because those lyrics reflect that?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, I do. I think lyrics are a tough thing. It's constantly evolving, constantly changing, as new words, new slang words come out, descriptions for things, lyrics. You have to constantly, I have my cell phone. I don't have an iPhone yet, which I wish I did, but you constantly have to, I have a notepad or my cell phone with me at all times. When I hear a lyric, boom, just kind of like this antenna goes off. Ooh, that sounds like, either that would be a great title, or, ooh, that sounds like, and it usually happens within conversations of people. But yeah, when I do write and I go back, I like a song, like, for example, I Feel You, when I'm performing that song, I'm there. I'm there when I wrote it.
Yes.
I'm there.
What we're going to do is take a short break now, and I do believe that we have some questions from the audience to ask for Chris. Okay, we have a question from Pat Mariner, he'd like to know who influences you musically.
Who asked that question?
You?
Who asked
Pat
that?
Mariner.
Oh, hey, Crap! Thank you so much for that question. My first influence was definitely George Winston, who is an instrumental pianist. Then I would have to say, for me, growing up in the 80s, and when MTV was just coming alive, Howard Jones is a big influence on me. Oh boy, I'd say another artist, Michael W. Smith, who is kind of a crossover with as a Christian artist and also a pop artist, a big influence on me. But Howard, I mean, I have to say, George Winston was, my whole process of emoting as I play the piano definitely came from George Winston.
I'm glad you mentioned Howard Jones, actually, because we have chatted before, and we've talked about Howard Jones, who was
yeah.
He's quite an exceptional musician, and I don't think when his music came out that people actually realised at the time just how amazing he is.
Yeah. I have to say too, U2 was an amazing influence on me too. That U2 is huge for me too. So, but yeah, Howard Jones, amazing artist. Absolutely amazing.
You've been in Second Life since 2008, so you've been using Second Life for 3 years.
Actually, about 2 years. I first came in 2008. I was actually watching the TV show The Office, and they were making fun of oh shoot, I forget the guy's name, but he had an account in Second Life. Dwight, thank you.
Yes.
Crap Mario said it. Dwight, and the Jim, who's a character on the show, he had this character too with a guitar on his back. And I thought, gosh, is there really something like that? And so I remember that it was that night or the next day I kind of Googled it, and I was like, oh, there is a Second Life. That is funny. So I downloaded it. I went in. I was just completely lost, and then I never went back into Second Life for about a whole year. Not until I got laid off from my job, and I had all this time, and I was like, oh well, now is a perfect time to check out what the Second Life is about.
So we could say that,
I needed a Second Life
to join Second Life by Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, I needed a Second Life at that point anyway. So anyway, that's when I came on a year after. That's when I was just amazed by the opportunity that I saw in Second Life to link, even from a marketing point of view, but also just all of the creativity. Not just in music, but art, and in even creating a sim. There is amazing artistic expression in creating a sim. I think that's what's amazing about Second Life. Everyone is allowed to create, whether it's the clothes they choose to wear or whatever.
It amazes me every day that I use Second Life. Really, just how much things have moved on, have changed, but how many more opportunities there are. How do you find sort of branding? Because obviously in Second Life, your avatar is known as Christopher Kwan. How do you deal with this crossover branding? Because this is something that I have to keep very separate. Is my avatar name is Slim Warrior and my artist name is Slim Girl Fat? Because to me they are two different things. Is that Slim Warrior is yes, it's a representation of me, but I don't brand my music as Slim Warrior. I use my artist name. How do you find that? Because you have to balance the two, and then you find yourself saying, I'm so and so here, but I'm also so and so there. But my friends call me such and such. Does it get confusing for you?
I don't think so yet. Only because it is kind of, well, it's difficult to sometimes explain, like, who's Christopher Kwan? What is Second Second Life? And I think if I started, and there was this thought, of creating a new avatar with my actual name, going like, kind of like Craig Lyons, going with Chris Joel or something like that. But, I don't know. I kind of have done that by putting my tag on that's got Chris Joel music on it. I do more cross branding via Second Life to Real Life than Real Life to Second Life, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So
it's quite good that you didn't name your avatar sort of shiny bling twinkle.
Yeah, right.
Because that would be far more confusing to explain, really.
Yeah, right.
So I think so in terms of promoting your music, you do use your real life name.
I do, and even in like during during a performance, like to have my website flash on the screen. Always wanting people to move people from meeting them in here to my website, because my website is I'm going to have my real life pictures there, and who knows when I'll ever finish a stinking CD, but my goal is then to have a CD at some point in my life. I would leave it take so stinking long, but and then at some point, to have that. And then as things start to pick up in real life, and in real life, I'm kind of in the process of formulating a group, putting a band together. And I'm doing something really kind of a small, intimate thing. Just me on the piano, a bass player who can play a little bit of acoustic guitar, and then a little drums. Just a nice intimate setting to do some smaller venues to build up. So, as far as that goes, once I get more traveling in real life, then the crossover might be different. But the goal is eventually to have people go to my website, and for me to, at some point in my life, have something recorded that they can download. In fact, if you go to my website now, you actually can download Mirror Mirror for free. I mean, you can just download it. You don't have to pay for it or anything. So
no, that's on your Reverb Nation site, which is reverbnation.com/Christopher Joel Thompson, all one word. And go and be a fan and like him on all your social media. If you use Twitter or Facebook, click, join, fan, like, join the stream team, and don't forget to attend, obviously, all the shows that you do in the Second Life.
Yeah, and see, that's been...
Sorry.
I was just going to say, that's been great. Like, I've had some folks in here that have, like you just said, actually, you don't even have to go to Reverb Nation. You can just go to chrisjoelmusic.com, and it will take you right to the Reverb Nation account. But I was going to say, there's some people in Second Life that come to my shows, have joined, like you said, become a fan, became part of my street team, and then they are promoting me to their Facebook friends, and so that's been cool, So that's been great.
We have another question from Dimitri. How do your family and friends who are perhaps not using Second Life, are they very supportive of your performances online?
Yeah, I think it's been a process, though. I think I am married and I have 3 kids. I have 3 daughters who are very active in the theater arts. In fact, we just finished Alice in Wonderland. My daughters are amazing. They really, I don't know, I guess I'd say that just because they're my daughters, but they really are amazing actors. So it has been a process. I think once kind of the potential of what Second Life brings, and it's actually kind of become almost a part-time job for me. So when I'm kind of relying on it, actually, I mean, maybe even more than a part-time job, but when it involves your music, and then you're getting paid for doing something you love, and then you're relying on that to help pay the bills. I think it moved from that to, okay, this is a priority. But I have to watch my time, in Second Life now. Now I'm teaching, so I don't have as much time to hang out like I used to. So now I kind of come on maybe a half an hour before my show, and then I'm off, either 15 to 30 minutes after my show.
Yes, that's one of the things is that using Second Life, you do have to manage your time and make that distinct balance between what's necessary in real life, which is always a priority over performing and using a virtual world Second Life or any of the others really, and it's because it is quite easy, and I think a lot of creative people find this, it's very easy to get caught up in something. So after a while you sleep, like there are the late nights, there are the I'll just pop in and do this for an hour, and you suddenly realise actually you've been in there for 2.5 hours.
No, for sure. I mean, you just get lost. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm like everybody else, hello, my name's Chris Thompson. I'm a Second Life addict. Anyway, but but yeah, I mean, it's tough. You get lost, and it's hard too, because I love to go see other people perform. I really do. So, one of my favorite guys to listen to is Acoustic Energy Nightly, who is also part of Spirit Fire Entertainment, and who I'm repped by. And I just love to go hear him sing and play, and sometimes I miss that. I don't get to go do that as much and network with people. And that's really what Second Life is networking. So
I find that too. Certainly when I started Second Life, as more and more musicians started to come in and use the platform, I did, and I've always made a huge effort to go and see, at that time, absolutely everybody and give lots of support. I think there are a lot of musicians in Second Life who perhaps don't have the audience that they deserve, simply because there are so many. And it's very hard when we have all these different time zones to be able to go and hear everybody that we would like to, and offer them support. I just want to touch very briefly on venues in Second Life, and talk about the people you've met behind the venue, the owners, the people who are probably, out of anybody in Second Life, the most passionate music supporters of all.
Oh yeah, that's they're the real heroes. They really are, honestly. I mean, they're the ones that are putting their butts on the line, having a sim, paying the monthly tier, all that, and to bring in musicians and for us to perform, share music, and for us to come together. And I mean, they're really the real heroes. They really are. I mean, without them, we wouldn't have nothing. So we'd be on a street corner with a box, We'll sing for food. But I've met some amazing people. In fact, I just had a performance before coming here at the Rose Theater. And, Kaya Angel is the creator of the Rose Theater. And also, I mean, his unique niche, I think, is when you are performing, he is a lighting technician, so he's working lights, a lighting show during your performance. Well, then to come to find out that he lives in the UK and he's a lighting engineer.
Yes.
Yeah, for concert venues in real life. And then, you kind of move beyond a venue and to form a friendship and it's just, it's amazing. And the people who are passionate about other artists and music in Second Life, they're amazing people. They really are.
And what I think, certainly what I've appreciated most about doing performances in World is the fact that the people give up their time. They've created their dream. They've created, because it isn't possible for us to all own wonderful, fantastical venues in real life. So having Second Life has allowed these people to translate that into something that really is, it's an honor to be part of somebody's dream like that.
Yeah, Slim, that is a great way to put it too, because I mean, the way they design their venue is so that's them. They're putting themselves into the way they are putting that venue together. And I love that. I love that. Such a great point. I love going to different venues, and like I play at this one place called Kinsey's, and she has it to where, the ocean is hitting behind your stage, and it's got this ocean spray, and I'm like, okay, everybody turn your environment to midnight or to sunset. It is just, it's amazing. I get into it as a performer. I'll like turn my camera around so I'm like seeing the whole panorama shot, and I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you this evening, and a wonderful insight into you as a person and you as a musician, and a little bit of history there. And thank you very much to the audience for the questions, and I really, really hope to see you all back here again. And Chris, what can I say? I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you, Slimmy. I am a huge fan of yours too. When you came to one of my performances, and then we started talking about me. You know, I think we met each other. I think was at Delindra's memorial. I think is where. Yeah, I remember that. And afterwards, we started talking, and you were like, "Man, you know, I liked your music," and then we kind of exchanged MySpaces or and then I was like, I heard your music, and I was like, holy cow. I use that word all the time. I don't know why. Anyway, I was just like, whoa, I was blown away by your stuff. I mean, you're an amazing artist, and I'm totally honored that you love my stuff. So anyway, I thank you. I'm honored. I'm totally honored. So
thank you very much. And I will just say very quickly, actually, is that I think Delinda would have loved what you just said then, because she was a great person for bringing people together, and that was, I think that was just lovely that you said that. I really do.
Yeah.
So anyway, Amped Up will be back in 2 weeks' time, so I do hope that you will all be able to make it. But for now, I'd like you all to give a round of virtual applause, and I do hope that you are sitting behind your computers, also clapping loudly for our wonderful, wonderful guest, Christopher Thompson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Slimmy. Thank you, everybody.